You know, we often talk about education as a goal, right? Something to achieve. But what if that's the wrong way to look at it? Let's talk about education for what it actually is, a fundamental human right. And for millions and millions of people around the world, it's a right that's been denied, a promise that's been broken. Just take a second to read this. This is from a 16-year-old in Senegal, and it gets right to the heart of the problem. See, this isn't just about not having enough schools or teachers. It's about a mindset of helplessness that's born from fear. A fear so powerful that parents, the very people who should be fighting for their child's education, end up being the ones to hold them back just to keep them safe. And right there, that's where the classroom door slams shut.
So, this is the central conflict we're digging into today. How do we square that principle, what every child is legally owed, with the harsh reality that so many are living every single day?
Okay, so here's the official word. The right to education, it's not a suggestion, it's not a nice to have. It is a legally guaranteed human right for everyone. Governments are required to provide free and mandatory primary education. And this isn't some far-off goal. It's supposed to be an immediate guarantee with absolutely no discrimination. That's the principle.
And here's the reality. 63 million. Just let that number sink in. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire population of the United Kingdom. 63 million young teenagers who should be learning, who should be in school, but they're not. It's a massive gap between the promise and the reality. So you have to ask, why? What is going on? Well, the answer isn't simple. It's not just one thing. It's more like this tangled web of obstacles that crash into each other, creating these walls that feel almost impossible to climb, especially if you're already one of the most vulnerable. Think about it this way. Just being a girl can be a barrier. Having a disability can be a barrier. Living in poverty, of course, that's a huge barrier. Now, imagine you're a girl with a disability from a poor family. See how that works? Each one of those things makes the others worse, and getting into a classroom gets exponentially harder. Then you pile on things like social stigma, being responsible for chores at home, schools being unsafe, or even being forced to move because of climate change, and that dream of an education just evaporates. And this really shows you the two sides of the coin. On one hand, you've got stigma, which can be absolutely crushing. You have whole families being shut out by their communities just because their child has a disability. But on the other hand, look what happens with support. When parents and communities see a child's potential, when they see their rights, they become this incredibly powerful force for change, fighting tooth and nail for their kids' education. Now, check out this data from Nepal because it uncovers another one of those hidden barriers. We're looking at kids who spend more than 21 hours a week on chores. That's basically a part-time job. And look at the difference. 17% are girls. That is more than double the rate for boys. This isn't just about helping around the house. This is stolen time. Time that should be for homework, for studying, or just for being a kid. And here's the really heartbreaking part. Even if a child manages to get past all those other hurdles and finally gets to the school gate, the barriers can be built right into the school itself. I mean, listen to this story. A girl gets a wheelchair, a tool meant to give her freedom, but she can't even use it. Why? Because the school grounds are totally inaccessible. It's such a powerful reminder that good intentions mean nothing without real, actual accessibility. So these individual stories are just gut-wrenching. But the impact, it doesn't stop with one child or one family. When you have millions of kids denied an education, it creates this massive ripple effect. There's a real, measurable cost to all of society. This is the price we all pay for a broken promise. I mean, take health, for instance. Study after study, especially in emerging economies, shows this incredibly clear link. Countries with higher literacy rates, they consistently have higher life expectancies. That makes sense, right? A more educated population is a healthier population. They're better able to get healthcare, understand nutrition, and build a healthier future for everyone. And the economic argument is just as strong. It's been proven over and over again. Education is one of the main engines of economic growth. It's not complicated. When you have a well-educated population, you get more innovation, more productivity, a stronger economy. Investing in schools isn't just a social program. It's one of the absolute smartest economic moves a country can make, period. Okay, so the problem is clear. The stakes are incredibly high. So what do we do? Well, the good news is this isn't some unsolvable mystery. There's a clear path forward. We have real, actionable solutions that are already being put into practice and making a difference. Groups like Handicap International have basically given us a roadmap, and it really boils down to three big things. First, you have to attack the problem at its root.
You've got to challenge those harmful, outdated beliefs about disability and gender. Second, you have to get practical and make schools physically accessible. And that means everything, from ramps to classrooms to bathrooms. And third, and this is so important, you have to make them emotionally safe. That means zero tolerance for bullying and violence.
And we're already seeing incredible innovation showing what's possible. I mean, check this out, the Learning Passport in Sudan. It's this digital education program that works offline. They put touchscreens in public places like markets and mosques to reach kids who have been displaced by conflict. It's absolutely brilliant. It uses technology to just leapfrog over all those traditional barriers and take learning straight to the kids who need it most.
So this is where we land. We know education is a universal right. We've seen the tangled web of barriers and the staggering cost of doing nothing. But we've also seen that the solutions are out there, from people power in communities to smart new technology. The path forward is actually pretty clear. So the only real question left is for all of us. What will it take to finally make this fundamental right a reality for every single child?